Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wolfe Sound Podcast. This is the Wild Vine series. Today, I'm hosting a fantastic find. He's a serial entrepreneur and founder of shepherd.com, which is a book platform. He has a background in marketing and tech, and he is here to solve a lot of authors' problems. His name is Ben Fox. I'm very pleased to have him today. Stay tuned. So I have with me right now Ben Fox, founder of Shepherd, a serial entrepreneur with a background in marketing and tech, and he is here to solve a lot of our problems as readers and authors. Hi, Ben. Thank you for coming on Wolfe Sound Podcast and the Wild Vine series.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
When I looked at your website, I got very intrigued on how you're going to be rivaling Goodreads, and you want to solve a lot of the issues about what authors are facing. Like I call it a landfill of books. Like everybody now is writing a book, and we're all lost. How are you going to help us?
Yeah, so I started Shepherd to try to fix that problem by focusing on the books people love the most and tapping into authors' personality and expertise to get those recommendations. So a lot of what we do is try to go to an author and ask them to share 5 books around a topic, theme, or mood that they love to get some awesome book recommendations. And we also try to do that in a way that it's close to their book, so that when they're describing these books, we also talk about them in their book. And it's a cool way to meet the most likely readers for your book while sharing something cool. So it's kind of a win-win for readers is, hey, they get the, 5 great book recommendations that somebody loves and they tell you why. And then the author then gets to meet readers who are the most likely readers, hopefully for their book.
Right. So what made you want to start this specifically?
Yeah, so I read a lot and I got really tired of Goodreads and Amazon just kind of list books like, Amazon lists them the same as they do, say, a toothbrush. And I got tired of that because I couldn't really dig into books or find them. There was no serendipity and there's just more and more ads. So I really wanted to create an experience that felt more like when I go to my local bookstore and I'm just wandering the shelves and just letting my eye kind of land on something like the book I didn't know I needed. So I wanted to create a feeling that was more serendipitous and just you can kind of follow your creativity through the site as you're kind of wandering. So it's made to be kind of fun to browse. And at the same time, you get to see what other people love. So I really love science fiction. So the site right now, we're still pretty new, but it lets you go browse science fiction. You can say something like, okay, show me science fiction that it also has AI or that also has the subgenre detective. So it allows for a certain amount of that. And then you get to browse each individual list that an author makes, which has a lot of personality and personal choices in it, so I basically made it to find books for myself in a lot of ways.
Right. Yeah, I saw that you read 100 books a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to read.
And do you have time to digest what you just read?
Yeah. I've read fast since I was a kid. So yeah, I have, normal comprehension levels, the book. It's not super fast. I will say, of course, I read slower when it's like a dense nonfiction. If I'm going into a history book or something that's going to be processed a little slower versus like fiction if I'm, going through a crime novel or something like that. Yeah.
Makes sense. So are you gonna offer a way, like, are people going to be able to buy the books off your website, or do you just redirect them elsewhere?
Yeah, so right now we just redirect them elsewhere, and I don't have plans to sell books myself. So yeah, we just refer people to Amazon and bookshop.org currently, and I'm working to add more bookstores as we grow, but it's actually technically pretty hard to do some of that, so we haven't yet. But yeah, we will always we're kind of meant to be a place where people can discover and explore books, and then we send them to their favorite bookstore to buy it, whether that be local or online.
Yeah, you're covering the most important part, which is marketing. A lot of authors really pull their hair out with the marketing, even the online ads. it's a very strange animal by itself. So what you're doing is you're helping make it much simpler to market the book, so that we don't have to be experts in how to advertise, and right?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it easy in the sense of an author can say can share their expertise and passion around the subject to get closer to readers. So it's kind of a nice one where you're just sharing books you love. It usually takes around, I've designed it to hopefully take 45 minutes to fill out. I know sometimes it takes longer, but the idea is you give about an hour of your time, and then you get lifetime of promotion, because this isn't like a temporary platform. It's a permanent platform where we're trying to get readers every month after month, to find your list in a variety of different ways, and we're trying to invent new ones. So yeah, I tell authors that we are like one of 100 things that they should do to market their book, and I can only tell you 2 others that work. But yeah, we're not. I always caution that I'm not the Oprah. I'm like very much smaller, and then we're hoping over the coming years that maybe we can be 3 or 4 of the 100 things. But make it simpler for them and make it not so time intensive. We're just do this list and you're done. And then when your new book comes out, you can do another list paired with that book. And then hopefully we're delivering readers every month to that list as well.
Right. What I love about this is that the genre it's kind of like groups, like somebody wants a new book and they go and look at their favorite genre, and it seems like you're creating this community of experts from all over the world, and then they go and read more in depth, like rather than just like on Amazon, for example, you can read the preview of a book, but sometimes like you don't have control over, like as an author, I can't control which part they will preview. I think it's just
Okay.
I wanted to have more choice in that, because sometimes what they choose is a prologue, and I just want a piece from the heart of the book or something, especially for nonfiction. You have something called book DNA. Is that part of that?
Yeah, and that's where we're headed. It's just going slow. Is our format when we ask authors for these recommendations is that they share why they love the book personally, what it taught them, and this is a certain type of method to basically relate to people by sharing what you loved about something, and then they can see it, because people hate being told you will like this. Like that's one of the things I often have to teach authors is don't tell people they're going to like it. They instantly put up defenses and they say no. You want to share why you liked it. This character was amazing. I cried when I had finished the book, or, this world was so amazing, or I learned so much about, this. So those are the things that really have value and what we try to focus the recommendations on, which are entirely positive. So when we do that, we're working slowly towards being able to do more of a book DNA approach, which is, if you loved a book for the same reason as other people, we're trying to eventually be able to show you books that are a really good match for you based on what you love the most. Because Amazon and to some degree Goodreads, they try to say, okay, you're going to like this book because you bought it, which doesn't work very well, because you buy a lot of books and you try a lot of things. So what we're trying to do here is say, say Catch 22 is one of your favorite books. We're trying to say, okay, who else loved Catch 22? And eventually we're trying to sink in what you love the most in terms of books with what other people love, to give a little bit more of a connection to that book. So we're going to be working towards that over the next couple of years, but that's kind of the base of where we started with these recommendations. And that's why when you go to a book recommendation page, the idea is we show you why that person loved the book, and you can see if it resonates with you. If somebody's talking about something in your language, that's, I think, a better spark to get, to kind of meet that book.
Right. What part of what you're doing that is so fascinating is the character part, like recommending characters or talking about the characters. Yeah. I love character-driven writing and movies, and dogs.
Yeah. And I'm working, I want to get more to characters. Like that's one thing I'm playing with this year with readers, is to try to see if I can do character profiles so that you can find books by the character. So if you love, this book and this character, that I'm going to try to figure out if we can find a way to help, hey, check out these books because other people liked it for similar reasons. So that's a real big one for me too, because I love books that have characters that, have good arcs and learn something, or, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And also sometimes you want to read books that if in a certain phase in your life and you're looking for characters that have been through something similar, so you can search by topic, like
Yeah.
books about characters that go through this, and then you find the whole list of them. So with Goodreads, people do like they have a list of their favorite books, but they do feel disconnected from each other. Like I know people can follow each other and stuff. So the way you're going to organize it is going to be a lot more clear, and maybe have a book club side of it.
Well, we don't know, we have such limited resources, that right now we're so careful about what we're going to build. We don't even have member accounts yet, for like visitors. That's probably coming this year, or is what we're looking at doing. So I'm trying to figure out, what's the best feature we can add once we add member accounts this year. And we're trying to figure that out, or I'm trying to figure that out in the next couple of months, because we can usually only build right now with our limited funding, about 1 or 2 features a year, depending on complexity. So we're really careful there, to make sure it's going to have like the desired impact. Because, if we build, say, a book club type feature, we have to make sure we have enough of a connection with readers to do that. Like right now, readers visit us for book recommendations or to, find their next book. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best path forward for building a stronger connection with them, so we can keep that going. So I'm going to spend the next couple months trying to test and figure that out, as well.
It seems like a great start. I mean, I'm sure you
Thanks.
don't have to figure out everything at once.
Yeah.
Your foundation is, I think, is great. Like in my mind, as an author and reader, I think it is a needed platform. And
Thanks.
just having that base is enough for me to go and want to be part of that. Like, how can people support you?
Yeah. So, the best thing authors have done so far is just to work with us to do these. And I should note, we had 5 million visitors last year. So we're doing good in terms of getting traffic to the site to get in front of authors. So, the best thing authors do is they create a book recommendation list. And we just came out with a new format, which is where they share their favorite reads of the previous year. So we're doing both. Those are our 2 formats. And then I'm working on the character stuff as we get that out. Of course, if they want to take part, that's huge. The other thing we have is we have a membership, for authors if they want to support the site. It comes with some fun perks. I want to make this always free for authors and readers. So the membership is really if they want to help support what we're building. And that's been a big one. And I'm hoping eventually towards maybe late this year, we have a similar membership for readers who want to support us, and I can give them some perks. For authors, we give some cool perks, like we show our founding members off on the front page, and they get one book launch each year where they can feature one of their books on the website, and we show it in some cool places, kind of like a smart ad. But it's a way to kind of thank them for the support they're giving in building this, because everything from the membership goes directly to our part-time developer who builds a lot of the features we're coming up with. So that's one of the best ways. And then otherwise, just telling friends and family that we're out there, is good. It always helps.
Yeah, and I think people will want to share when they write a recommendation, and like people take pride in their books and like what they read, and they want to tell their friends about it. The way you have this format of like the questionnaire, it was like that. I'm guilty. I didn't fill it yet. I will get to. But it seems like fun. It seems like it doesn't seem like, oh, I'm not gonna fill it out. It's boring. No, it's actually pretty exciting. I can't wait to get to it because it made me think about my favorite books and how I'm gonna talk about it. And it's very nice actually. And people can share that on Facebook and whatever social
Yeah.
media.
Well, that's great to hear. Because my hope is it's fun, because I love sharing books I read that I adore. I have a certain number of friends that I send out all my recommendations to. So that's my hope with this, is I've kept it minimal enough, but still powerful in the format that it's fun to do. It's relatively quick. We don't ask for a ton of words or anything. And I love sharing books I love. So that's my hope. And authors can always email me if they're having trouble or need help with a title or a way. So we're happy to help there.
This is amazing. I'm gonna definitely put all your information below in the
Thanks.
comments for everybody, and I want to make sure that I didn't forget to ask you anything. I think we've got it covered. Oh no, I have one question.
Yeah.
You have a character called Welch. Uh, who is Welch?
Well, my last name used to be Welch Bolin before I got married, like hyphenated.
Oh, okay, yeah. That I was it
Okay, yeah.
Welch Boland. I thought it's a
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
One of.
Nah, it's
Okay,
my old last name, and then my wife and I changed our name when we got married, so we have the same one. Yeah.
okay. So it's not a fictional character. This is you.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, the Fox is a little bit more fictional. My wife and I wanted to have the same last name after we got married, and I didn't want to do hyphenated anymore because it's a lot. So we did a big round robin tournament to find a new last name that we both liked, and so we ended up on Fox.
Wow, I'm actually glad I
Yeah.
asked this question. You have a fictional last name. How
Yeah.
appropriate to what you're doing, like the books and the
Yeah.
characters, even you.
Yeah. Yeah. My real name is a bit of a pen name, so yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, Ben, it's so good to meet you. I hope everyone watches this so they get to know about like Shepherd, your Shepherd. But why did you call it Shepherd?
Yeah, so I bought that domain name a long time ago. Just being in the tech industry, I pick up some good domain names every so often, and I really liked it. And I thought it would be like a good brand eventually. And when I was working on the book site and playing with the names for it, I really liked the idea of Shepherd because it's like a gentle recommendation. And I thought it was a good brand for kind of something around recommendations and guiding people to books. So yeah, no religious overtones. I get that question sometimes. It's more just I thought it was a cool name for a book recommendation site.
Right. I thought of Jack Shepherd from Lost. That's the first thing that
Oh
came to
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sometimes people think it's my last name too. I get that a lot, but no, it's just I thought it was a really good, it's very memorable. People can, type it in. They don't have to think about how to spell it usually.
Yeah.
Kind of like Amazon or Google or Nike. I just thought it was a good one word to describe what we're doing.
I did think it was your last name at first, but I did my
Yeah.
homework and went through your website and your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate like knowing you. I can't wait to get to filling out the questionnaire that you sent me. And when Dear Psychopath comes out, I will tell you. It's not out yet, but
Okay.
I have a deadline and you encouraged me to keep going because you asked about it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Please.
so thank you so much. All the links will be down below. You gotta find this guy, a serial entrepreneur, find his LinkedIn as well to see his history. Amazing work, Ben. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Wow, that was quite the impressive work by Ben Fox. He's absolutely amazing. I usually get a lot of emails about my books and the people who want to market it and all kinds of stuff. But this particular email caught my attention. There's something about his energy that just felt right. And I'm glad I responded because a very intelligent young man. He's really, really doing stuff that will solve both ends of a problem for authors and readers. And he approached me for a book that is not even advertised really. Like he does his homework, he knows his authors, and he does this with a lot of care. So receiving that about Dear Psychopath was very bizarre. Like I assumed like he would go and find like the unfolding or the Pathology of Innocence, even like that's the second book, the Pathology of Innocence. The most advertised one is this one, and it's been a bestseller. So I think I will start with this one on his website until Dear Psychopath is out. Very exciting for me as an author. And if you're an author, I highly, highly recommend this guy. There's something about him. He's going to be huge. All of this work that he's doing is worth it. It's going to be definitely worth it. And I'm definitely on board. So thank you for being here. This is Wolf Sound Podcast, the Wild Vine series. It is safe to create. Let's keep on creating and talk to more creators. And if you're a creator and you have something special, email me, please. All the information is going to be down below. I would love to talk to you. Have a good day. Bye.